Hello and welcome everyone back to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball live here from Alumni Field. My name is Charlie Brigham alongside me, Owen Klein, and we got a good one for you today, folks. Michigan back at home facing off against the Bowling Green Falcons. It's a chilly day here at Alumni Field. We got the windows open to get a nice little breeze going, but temperature sitting right around 44 degrees. Fans still trickling in, but all bundled up. But Owen, before we get started, how are you doing today?
I'm great, and you mentioned it's sunny outside. It seems like we've been waiting for that for a while in Ann Arbor. Baseball and softball season. It's that time of year, and we're glad we'll have some sun.
It's these early March games that, you can feel spring is right around the corner, but then, as soon as the sun goes down, it's all of a sudden it's 20 degrees
It's
and
teasing us.
you're
It's teasing
shivering,
us.
yeah, and then you're just like kind of contemplating whether or not you even want to be there. But like we said, we got some softball to play. Michigan in the home whites with the blue bottoms, Bowling Green in the brown tops, orange pants, and brown stirrups. We'll give you the starting lineup for the Michigan Wolverines defensively. Going to be Lauren Durkowski in the circle. Sitting behind home plate, as usual, is Kiki Thole, then left to right in the infield. It's going to go LeClaire at the corner, Ella McVeigh at shortstop. Over to second base for Janelle Alakwa, and then at first base, the freshman Maddie Erickson. Left to right in the outfield is Sealer, Blair, and Mattia.
Excited to see Durkowski on the mound, boasting a 1.81 ERA on the season, 65 innings pitched, so definitely a reliable arm there for the Wolverines.
We are just about to get things started. It's going to be number 18 versus number 18. Durkowski goes to the glove. First pitch on the way. That one a bit too low for ball number one.
Michaela Dees for the Falcons, hitting .310 as a leadoff hitter. That's what you want out of your leadoff spot.
Second pitch on the way from Durkowski. That one swung on and missed. Will even things out at 1-1. Durkowski's been great so far this season. He struggled a little bit giving up a long ball, but other than that, she has been locked right in. A 1.81 ERA. Corners playing up middle in the infield, about a step and a half back from the bags. The 1-1, chop back foul. It'll go 1-2.
You mentioned the ERA, Charlie. Another impressive stat is the opponent batting average, below 200, 190 on the season, as I said before, 65 innings pitched. So that's a good sample size there for Durkowski. Super efficient on the mound.
The 1-2 on the way from Durkowski. She goes to the glove. The wind-up, that one outside, not going to matter, rings her up.
Looked a bit outside. Close call there for the umpire. Durkowski efficiently dispatches Dees. 1 out.
Following that first out, would like to remind you all that it is Giving Blue Day, the main day of the year where we raise all the money that we use to travel all around the country here at WCBN Sports. So if you're willing and able, head on over to our YouTube page or our Twitter to find the details on how to donate there. Also head on over to our website, all places where you can find that. And, I can't express enough how important Giving Blue Day is just to the life of the station. It really is the lifeblood of WCBN Sports.
100%.
It's been 1 up and 1 down for Durkowski. Now she'll face off against a two-hitter who she freezes with a beautiful 0-0 changeup. And now she's ahead in this count.
Yeah, that changeup floated in there perfectly. Definitely caught the batter off balance.
Infield playing a step back as Durkowski misses high and outside.
Not a bad pitch there. I like Durkowski kind of moving away from the strike zone, maybe getting the batter to bite here.
We mentioned it earlier in the season when myself and Kelin were down in Clearwater, Florida. There were questions coming into this year as Durkowski misses low as to who was going to step up in the circle for the Michigan Wolverines, with Alex Duracco and Megan Bobian both heading out of Ann Arbor, and Durkowski has been that arm.
Certainly reliable for the Wolverines, sub-2 ERA. She's been great so far this season.
6-4 in her 9 games started. As that one is called just outside to some jeers from the Michigan crowd. The count goes 3-1.
That one was awfully close there. It's interesting because the strikeout on the leadoff batter looked like more of a ball than that one.
Hitters count here. Digging in is Durkowski. This pitch swung on, chopped back, and we're going to go full.
Durkowski does a nice job there of catching up. Now a full count. Getting right back in it here. Chance to put a second straight batter away.
Lexi Blair in center field trying to block the sun with her glove on that right hand. Wind blowing out to dead center, and like you said, it's cold, but that sun is definitely shining here at Alumni Field. The payoff pitch from Dirk. Changeup swung on and missed. Again, freezes the batter. She throws her hands at it at the last second in a last-ditch effort to make contact, but that's going to be the second straight Falcon hitter sat down by Durkowski.
Durkowski did a beautiful job of climbing back into the count and threw a nasty pitch to strike out the second batter. Excellent start here for her.
2 Falcons up and 2 sent back to the dugout by Lauren Durkowski. That'll bring up the 3-hitter, Sophie Weber. First pitch on the way, Weber outside.
Weber, the star of the show here for the Falcons, hitting .382 is the junior. A dangerous batter in the box.
First pitch missing. It's a 1-0 count here for Weber. Again, going to the rise ball, but this one again missing upstairs. Durkowski's down 2-0.
Hitter's count here for a dangerous hitter. You want to be careful if you're Durkowski, not to leave anything over the plate.
21 hits and 55 at-bats so far this year for Sophie Weber for a cool .382 batting average as she's got the hitter's count here. Another beautiful changeup from Durkowski catches the zone, and now she's fighting her way back in.
Looked like one Weber could have swung at. Surprised she didn't. Durkowski will take it, though, getting back into the count.
8 RBIs on 21 hits this year. Weber's definitely got power. She's got a home run in her back pocket as she's again frozen by that changeup. These Bowling Green hitters want nothing to do with Durkowski's off-speed.
100%. And this is the second straight batter that Durkowski has fallen behind early but climbed back into the count. Doing a great job here against a dangerous hitter in Weber.
2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on. Durkowski delivers. This one hit hard on the ground. It's going to make its way through the infield. Dropping down to a knee in right is Mattia, and now the Falcons have their first base runner. Nice piece of 2-strike hitting there.
100%. Protected the plate. Pushed the ball to the right side of the field. Great job there by Weber, who's a great hitter, as the Falcons get their first runner on here this afternoon.
That one just a well-placed ball. Wasn't too hardly hit, but Janelle Lacqua had to sprint to that glove side, lay out for it, still couldn't quite get there. That'll bring up Macy Godbolt. First pitch her way, swung on and missed.
Good start there for Durkowski. Not playing any games, want to get out of this inning safely.
Godbolt hasn't showed off too much of her power this year, but she's in that cleanup spot for a reason. The 0-1 pitch. Rise ball missing high.
Godbolt also a junior, part of this starting 4 junior for the batting order of the Falcons. As you said, she's in cleanup for a reason.
The 1-1 pitch. That one again missing high. Kiki Thole popping right up out of her crouch.
Yeah, great job by Thole to grab that out of the air.
Kiki Thole just so quick defensively. Doesn't really fly around the base paths, but in those quick spurts behind home plate, has done a great job all year just keeping hitters honest. Durkowski, deep breath, now goes to the glove. Change up, chop back slowly to her. An easy toss over to first base, and that's going to do it for the side.
It's a beautiful change up there by Durkowski. I know you mentioned the filth on the one before. This one was also pretty dangerous. Got the batter to reach and lunge. Wasn't expecting the speed. Easy ground out to end what was a pretty good inning for Lauren Durkowski. Maybe a bit of a scare there with Weber getting on base, but otherwise, Charlie, I thought it was a great first inning for her.
Sat down the first 2, both on changeups. As you mentioned, Weber pokes a single through the infield, kind of in no man's land, but then has no trouble retiring. Macy Godbolt, another changeup, gets her to dribble it back, and now Michigan's go on the offensive attack. Give you the starting lineup for the Michigan Wolverines. 1, 2, 3 is Mattia, Blair, and Thole. Batting in that cleanup spot is the freshman Maddie Erickson. 5'6'7" is Melina Livingston, Ellie Sealer, and Janella Lacqua. And then rounding out the starting lineup in the 8 and 9 spots are Ella McVeigh and Audrey LeClaire. In the circle for the Bowling Green Falcons going to be Scarlett Anderson. 34 and 2/3 innings pitched this year, so she's had plenty of experience, but not too much experience against hitters of Michigan's caliber, aside from really the 2 games against Auburn about a week ago in the J&B Moore Memorial Tournament, where number 19 Auburn kind of beat up on Bowling Green, winning 9-1 and 8-0, both in run rule fashion.
Yeah, maybe not the result that the Falcons wanted, but good experience for Anderson, as you said, against a high level of hitting that you'll have to deal with here against the Wolverines. Does have a good ERA sitting at 2.62, 5-1 on the year is the record. As you said, plenty of experience, 34 innings pitched here for her. Definitely has her hands full with the Michigan batting order today, though.
Anderson saw a bit of action in that second Auburn game, but she will get the start here today against the Wolverines. The wind-up and first pitch on the way to Mattia. That one too low. It'll be ball 1. Boy, Mattia has been great this year. Started off the season real hot with a batting average up around 400. It's dropped down a bit to 240, but still, she's been hitting the ball well. Just making solid contact. Still just struggling a bit to find gaps. The 1-0 outside. It'll make it a 2-0 hitters count here.
Mattia, one of the 4 seniors in this Michigan batting order, and that experience is needed, especially with the big head coaching change this past summer.
Yeah, the graduate transfer from Boston College has been fantastic this year. Another quality pickup from the ACC for Michigan. 2-0. Change-up that barely catches the bottom of the zone. A delayed call from the home plate umpire, Joseph Malik.
Good pitch by that Anderson. Maybe not one that Mattia was expecting, as you said, with the changeup. Way to get back into the count.
Blair waits on deck, trying to get her timing. 2-1 pitch to Mattia. That one's outside, make it 3-1.
It was a great take there by Mattia. I wouldn't blame most hitters for attacking that one. It was clearly outside, though. Now count heavily in her favor at 3-1.
3-1 hitters count. Infield playing up, outfield in a step as well. That one to Mattia, high and outside. She works another walk.
Mattia showed off the eye there. Great vision on those last 2 pitches. They were close, but Mattia holding off. As Michigan gets a runner on early with no outs. Good sign for the Wolverines, especially with the heart of the order coming up.
And Ellie Mattia has just been so good all year long at working walks. That one, her 11th, a team high. The next closest, nowhere really close. Kiki Thole and Maddie Erickson both with 4 apiece.
That's the reason she's hitting the leadoff spot. Getting on base, doing her job.
First pitch on the way to Lexi Blair. It's hit high in the outfield. Dropping towards that right center gap, and coming over to make the play is Davis. So an aggressive swing on that first pitch. Blair just got under it a little bit. She had some help from the wind to push it out there, but just couldn't quite make the contact that she wanted.
Certainly good job of Davis by locating that ball. Much needed out. Still 1 on, but easier situation to work with if you're the Falcons. Want to be careful here, though.
1 out and a runner on. That'll bring up Kiki Thole. First pitch her way, a check swing. Bowling Green finally now appealing down to first base. They're going to say she didn't go, at least from this angle up here. It looked like she might have gotten the bat around, but the umpires disagree with me, so it's going to be a 1-0 count for Thole.
Close one there. I thought it might have been a strike regardless, but the umpire calls it a ball to check down the first base.
1-0 to Kiki Thole. Runner goes. Throw not in time.
Great slide there, and I know it was harping on Mattia's ability to be a great leadoff hitter. That's another part of it. Stealing bases, advancing. Runner in scoring position now. Kiki Thole an opportunity to drive Ellie Mattia in for the first run of the afternoon.
Runner now in scoring position. That one puts Mattia at 4 for 4 stolen bags on the year, tying her with Lexi Blair. The pitch was called a strike. And now a changeup floats high in the zone to put Thole back out in front 2-1.
I think Anderson's location so far in this inning has been great. A couple close calls could have gone either way. I just keep doing what I'm doing here. Do have to be careful down 2-1 though.
Thole towards the front of that batter's box. Takes a big hack on that pitch. Scarlett Anderson left it a bit in the zone, and she got lucky on that one. Just barely ahead of it, tipping off the front of the bat of Thole.
Definitely did. I think Thole might have been a tad early on that one, but you're right, Charlie. Left right over the plate. Dangerous pitch there.
Anderson takes a walk to the back of the circle, regains her composure, and now will settle in. It's a 2-2 count for Kiki Thole. Change up high and outside. We'll push full.
Great eye there by Thole to protect, and this puts pressure on Anderson, the pitcher, to put something at least close to the strike zone here. Don't want to risk 2 runners on. See what she does.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a runner on. The pitch to Thole, hit hard on the ground, but that one foul.
I thought that was a great pitch. Close enough where Thole was forced to swing, but not right down the middle. Thole, a good job of fouling off and keeping her at bat alive.
The real meat of this Michigan order coming up. Thole at the plate, Maddie Erickson on deck, Melina Livingston waiting in the hole. Anderson spins the ball in the right hand, now goes to the glove. Full count pitch, hit on the ground towards shortstop. Looking back, Mattia at second, and now making the throw across the diamond is Reed. A routine ground ball puts 2 outs up there on the board. Michigan now in danger of leaving a runner stranded.
The Falcons needed that one for sure. Reed, a nice play over there at short. Keeps Mattia honest at second. So best outcome definitely there for Bowling Green.
So that'll bring up Erickson. Ellie Mattia still over there on second. First pitch on the way, a changeup that rides way up above the eyes of Erickson for ball number 1.
Erickson's the star of the show here for the Wolverines, batting .321 as a freshman. Want to be careful here if you're Anderson, not leave anything over the plate with the runner in scoring position.
Anderson to the glove now on 1-0. That one a called strike in the outer half. Mattia took a few extra steps on second there. She tested the arm of Williamson earlier in the inning and reached second safely.
I like it. It keeps the catcher thinking about the runner as well as the pitcher. So good job for Mattia being active at second.
Scarlett Anderson taking her time in the circle, and now Erickson calls time and steps out. Wind shifting a bit, blowing out towards left field now. It's headed dead center, and a big hack. They're going to say it was tipped.
That was a big hack and a good pitch there by Anderson. Erickson now down 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Bowling Green got lucky there that Erickson barely put her bat on it. That would have been a pass ball and a runner on third base in Mattia. Anderson nods yes, now goes to the glove. The 1-2. Check swing and chop foul.
Well, hesitation there from Erickson to commit fully to a swing. Luckily fouls it off, keeps the at-bat alive.
Michigan's been great all year of when they do strike out, they don't do so easily. They extend at-bats, just fighting things off. The 1-2. This one, again, popped up foul. It's going to bounce off the net and make its way back in play.
Yeah, right on cue, Charlie. They've done a great job of doing that here only in the first inning. Mattia obviously drawing the walk. Erickson here fighting. So Michigan is living up to that regard for sure.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mattia still standing tall over there on second base. A ball in the gap would score. The 1-2 to Maddie Erickson. Inside, make it 2-2.
Good job there, Erickson, to see the pitch. Clearly a ball. Working the count once again.
Couple arms warming up down there in the Bowling Green bullpen. Probably literally warming up. A chilly one here in Ann Arbor, just trying to stay loose. The 2-2 to Erickson. Outside, push it full.
You want to be careful here if you're Anderson. If you leave anything over the plate, Erickson has the ability to make something happen. I wouldn't even mind purposely maybe throwing a ball.
The full count pitch to Erickson. Big hack, popped up foul. We'll do it again.
Erickson continues to fight in this at-bat.
Erickson at the dish with a full count. Melina Livingston waiting on deck. Scarlett Anderson reading the wristband, looking for the payoff pitch. Full count, hit back up the middle. Mattia is going to be waved around third. It's going to be a close play at the plate. Throw not in time, and Michigan's on the board. An RBI single for the freshman Maddie Erickson, and the Wolverines strike first.
Excellent at-bat there by Erickson. We were talking about her fighting. She finally saw her pitch, drove it right back up the middle. Mattia with the wheels, rounding third, coming home for an early run here for Michigan. Exactly what you need. It's been a great first inning for them, both defensively and offensively, and it's not over yet. Erickson still on first. For Livingston coming up to the plate.
Another RBI for Maddie Erickson, and another run tallied in Ellie Mattia's column. 13 of them on the year. First pitch to Melina Livingston upstairs for ball number 1. Infield playing back, corners playing about even with the bags. Anderson taking her time, now delivers. That one catches the outside corner. Livingston shrugs it off, and now we'll take a couple practice hacks.
Livingston boasting a .224 average, another one of those upperclassmen in this Michigan lineup. See if she can do some damage here with Erickson on first.
Anderson taking a long time, spinning the ball in the right hand against that right pant leg. Now the pitch, way upstairs, popping out of her crouch is Williamson to reel it in.
Yeah, similar to Thole last inning when Michigan was on defense. Falcon catcher Williamson doing a great job of going upstairs and getting that ball.
And while the average right now probably isn't where Livingston would like, she's been hitting the ball hard all year long. I mean, just it seems like every time she's up at the plate, she's making solid contact. Anderson quickly goes to the glove on 2-1. This one popped up foul to the right-hand side. It'll make its way towards the Michigan bullpen. So again, Scarlett Anderson has Michigan hitters in a 2-strike spot. But Michigan doing a nice job just making Bowling Green work. Anderson already up over 20 pitches in this first inning.
100%. I haven't seen Michigan take many strikes here in the first inning, so you're completely right.
2-2 hit hard up the middle, but right there to make the play is Reed. Again, just another piece of solid contact from Melina Livingston, but that'll do it from the side. Michigan puts themselves out in front off the RBI single from Maddie Erickson and nice set of wheels from Ellie Mattia. Pushes one across. We head to the top of the second inning. Michigan up 1-0.
Yeah, credit there to Winnie Reed, the shortstop for the Falcons, making 2 integral plays there to get Bowling Green out of that inning. But you're right, Charlie. Michigan, great job at the plate. Showed the composure. They were fighting every at-bat. They weren't swinging at balls out of the strike zone. Good base running, too, especially by Mattia, the stolen base. Then scoring from second on the Erickson single. Just a solid inning for the Wolverines. Solid start here on a nice day in Ann Arbor, I'd say. Sun's out.
We've got about 40 seconds before we start second half action. Would like to just remind you all that it is Giving Blue Day, the main day of the year where WCBN raises all their funds to, bankroll everything we do, whether it's trips around the country for softball, like myself and Kelin Flynn going down to Clearwater earlier this year, for football trips, basketball trips. Myself and Adam Bressler made the trip across the pond to London, England at the start of this year, back in December, to call Michigan basketball. But again, none of that would be possible without you all at home. So if you're interested, check the YouTube live chat. Or you can see that you can head over to either our Twitter or YouTube to find the link to donate. Again, anything possibly you could give or would be willing to give would be much, much appreciated.
See if Durkowski can keep it rolling here as we head into the top of the second. Good first inning.
It's going to be 5, 6, 7, 2 up for Bowling Green. Williamson, Hutter, and Hunt. First pitch from Durkowski, right down Broadway, called strike one.
Yeah, right back to work goes Durkowski. Had a great first inning in terms of command. Good job to continue that here with the first pitch of the second inning.
Williamson has been a rock behind the plate all year for Bowling Green, looking to get things started on the offensive end. As pitch number 2 goes by a bit low, called ball 1.
Williamson boasting a .277 average on the year. Also has drawn 6 walks.
She started all but one game for the Falcons. Durkowski takes a deep breath, now goes to the windup. Changeup, called a strike at the knees. And again, these Bowling Green hitters just don't want anything to do with Durkowski's off speed.
Nothing. That changer's been dangerous all afternoon. Bowling Green hasn't seemed to figure it out yet.
The 1-2 from Dirk. Catches the outside corner and rings her up.
That one wasn't a
strikeout number 3.
Yeah, and she came back there with the fastball. And the other hitters for the first inning for Bowling Green, Durkowski got strike 3 on a lot of those changeups. Switches it up there. Keeps them guessing. Great start so far here for her.
That'll bring up the freshman Katie Hutter. First pitch on the way to Hutter, high and outside. In her short time so far this year with this Bowling Green program, she's definitely made an impact. Has played in 16 of their ball games, boasting a .320 batting average. Pitch number 2, called strike at the knees, leaving things out.
Certainly, and like Erickson from Michigan, Katie Hutter is an important young piece of this Bowling Green Falcon lineup. Certainly making the most of opportunities so far this season.
The 1-1 from Durkowski. High, pops out of the glove of Kiki Thole, but nobody on, so it won't matter. Out of Bowling Green's 19 games, she's played in 16 of them, and I mean, just look at that stat line up there on the board. 1 home run, 7 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, has worked 5 walks. I mean, that's about as much production as you could ask for out of your freshman.
100%. It's got to be a great sign for both coaching staffs to have freshmen that produce the way they have this season. Definitely opportunity to be program staples moving forward.
Hutter waved at a pitch outside, which pushes the count to 2-2. Durkowski digs in, deals, outside corner, going to be a bit far. It'll push it to a full count.
That one was awfully close there. Good pitch there by Durkowski. Hutter doing a nice job of not biting. Big full count here.
Hutter's got speed. She'd be a great piece to have the base pass early here. The full count pitch from Durkowski. Pop back foul. We'll do it again.
A lot of quality at bats here recently. Hutter, this time for the Falcons, battling. And as you said, her getting on would be huge for Bowling Green.
The freshman Hutter at the plate. Another freshman in Hannah Hunt, the second baseman, waiting on deck. The full count pitch, change up in the dirt, swung on and missed. Nice block there by Kiki Thole to reel it in and toss another strikeout up there in the column for Lauren Durkowski.
Durkowski's changeup has done a great job of finishing batters off so far this afternoon. And after a good battle with Hutter, she eventually becomes the next victim of that. Great outing so far here for Durkowski.
That'll bring up the second baseman, Hunt. Bowling Green going back to that right-hand side. A lineup primarily dominated by right-handed batters. 6 of their 9. Durkowski taking her time, deep breath, now the delivery. A half swing pops up into the glove of Leclerc at third base, fired across the diamond, and that'll do it for the side.
Yeah, it looks like Hunt might have jumped a bit at that changeup as well. Had to kind of slow the swing down. Excellent job there by Leclerc, the third baseman, to make a quick play. Michigan's been great defensively. Durkowski's been great on the mound so far. Michigan has a chance to pad that lead going into the bottom of the second.
3 up, 3 down for Bowling Green, and that'll put Michigan back out on the offensive attack. A chance to score a few more runs. It's 6, 7, 8 due up for Michigan. Sealer, Ilacqua, and McVeigh before heading to Audrey Leclerc, who made that nice play at the hot corner to round out the top half of this inning. And then back to the top of the order, Nelly Mattia.
Certainly, and Michigan has the luxury of having some pretty effective hitters near the bottom of the order. As you said, Sealer hitting 296 on the year, Ilacqua at 281. So Michigan's dangerous all around the order here.
If you're just tuning in, we'd like to thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball live here at Alumni Field. If you aren't already, we'd like to remind you to subscribe by going beneath the video feed and clicking that big rectangular subscribe button, and make sure to click that bell icon as well to be notified anytime we go live so you never miss a broadcast. We've got all sorts of stuff coming up with postseason hockey, and then getting right into the swing of things with baseball and softball season, as well as men's and women's lacrosse coming up here shortly. Ellie Sealer takes a couple practice hacks, and now she'll step in on that left-hand side. Righty on lefty battle here as Anderson walks to the back of the circle, takes a deep breath, grabs the rosin bag, and now settles on the rubber. First pitch on the way to Sealer, hits softly back at Scarlett Anderson. A nice routine play for out number 1.
Yeah, if you're Anderson, it's definitely a breath of fresh air there. Only a 1 pitch out. I like the swing there by Sealer, just didn't get as much of the ball as she might have wanted to. I like the aggression, though, early.
Aside from the first pitch pop-up from Blair and that first pitch ground out from Sealer, Michigan has been stringing together some quality at-bats. The pitch count for Scarlett Anderson as she enters her second inning of work, almost over 30, as Janelle Ilacqua takes a nice swing at the first pitch and pokes it foul.
Yeah, once again, just like Sealer before her, Ilacqua being aggressive on the first pitch. This one a laser down the third base line. Fortunately goes foul, but I like the aggression from these Wolverine hitters early.
Following the line drive foul ball, the count will be 0-1. Anderson wasting no time, going back to the windup. Another ground ball hit hard on the ground over towards Hunt at second, but just standing in the exact right position. Didn't even need to take a step either side, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, regardless of the out, that's a really good at-bat there by Ilacqua. 2 strong swings, hard hit balls. Unfortunately, just didn't go to the right spots, but that's something that if you're head coach Stoll, you can't get mad at. If you're Ilacqua, you just got to stay in there.
And that's something that's going to probably sit in the back of the mind of Scarlett Anderson. I mean, she left 2 balls over the plate, and Ilacqua ripped both of them, just couldn't find a gap. That'll bring up the shortstop, Ella McVeigh. First pitch her way outside, ball number 1. The wind has died down. The flag in center field moving a bit side to side, but not nearly the strong winds that we had earlier. McVeigh lines up the bat. Scarlett Anderson taking her time, now finally goes to the glove. The 1-0. Hit on the ground by McVeigh. A diving stop at second, but not enough time for Hunt to pop up and throw. That one's going to be an infield single for Ella McVeigh, and Michigan has a base runner on with 2 outs.
Certainly, and a good effort there by the second baseman, Hannah Hunt, to lay out for that. Fortunately, kind of bobbled around in her glove. Good piece of hitting there by McVeigh, first Wolverine runner of this inning.
Another thing to be said about the bottom half of this Michigan lineup is that it can all fly around the base pass. I mean, you look, even Melina Livingston, who's probably the slowest out of those bottom 5, but Livingston, Sealer, Ilacqua, McVeigh, and Leclerc, they can all cruise around the base pass. There's not many of them that Hunt is making that play and then has enough time to throw out at first.
Certainly. And that's not only a luxury to have at the bottom of the order, but once you get back around to the top with your power hitters that hit for RBIs, that's just another plus for this lineup.
First pitch to Leclerc was high and outside for ball number 1. McVeigh, 2 stolen bags on the years. LeClaire pokes at that one and pushes it foul.
Yeah, good pitch there by Anderson.
Sun's still shining here in Ann Arbor. Feels like temps sitting at 40 degrees, although I'd argue it feels a bit colder. Anderson checks that orange wristband and now goes to the glove. 1-1 to LeClaire. This one hit on a line, and that one's going to make its way through the infield. The shortstop, Reed, was heading over to second to cover the bag. McVeigh went on the pitch, and that ball went pretty much right where Reed had been standing about a half a second earlier.
Certainly, and I love the idea of sending McVeigh on that pitch. Possible hit-and-run scenario, although it went right to the left fielder. Keeping Bowling Green on their toes. Now Michigan all of a sudden 2 base runners here with 2 outs as we get back to the top of the order.
It'll bring up Ellen Mattia, worked a walk, and ended up scoring in her first and only time up. First pitch her way here. Chopped softly towards third base. Bobbling it is Weber, and all runners will reach safely. It'll be bases loaded, 2 outs, as Lexi Blair will step up to the plate.
And Mattia showed off the speed on the base pass last inning by stealing a base. Here she beats out a ground ball. Keeps that Michigan inning alive, and Anderson once had 2 outs with nobody on. Now bases are loaded with Lexi Blair, who hits above 300. So definitely a dangerous situation here early for Bowling Green, who's already down 1-0.
We talked about the speed of this Michigan lineup. McVeigh at third, LeClaire at second, Mattia at first. The ball through the infield is almost guaranteed to score 1, if not 2. A ball that finds the gap has a chance to clear the bases. Lexi Blair taking her time, and now will step in. She's got the bases juiced and 2 outs. Anderson goes to the windup. First pitch here is low and in the dirt.
Good eye there by Blair. One might be tempted to swing for the fences in this situation. If you're Blair, your only goal is not getting out, keeping this inning alive. Great job there to take ball 1.
Blair wasting no time, stepping back into that batter's box. She is ready to hit. Anderson nods yes, now goes to the glove, the 1-0. This one hit hard on the line. It's going to make its way through the infield. 1 run's going to score. 2 runs going to score. Mattia held at second. A 2 RBI single for Lexi Blair.
And that one was right over the plate for Lexi Blair to crush. 2 RBI single for her. As Michigan all of a sudden up 3-0. Great piece of hitting there. And really another great inning at the plate, albeit in a different way. Still a great inning at the plate for Michigan. Couldn't have asked for a better start here.
Like I said, with the speed, really all you need to do is get it through the infield. That ball was hit on the ground directly to the center fielder, and still 2 runs were able to score. That'll bring up Kiki Thole, and she's still got potential to do some damage with 2 runners on.
And Mattia at second scored from scoring position in the first inning. Another chance to do so here.
Full grounded out to shortstop her last time up back in the first. She's got 12 RBIs on the year. In a position to notch 2 more as this one's popped up. It's going to stay in fair play, and making a nice catch behind home plate is the catcher Williamson. Michigan leaves 2 runners stranded, but not before Lexi Blair rips a 2 RBI single to put Michigan up 3-0 here in Ann Arbor.
Another great inning for Michigan at the plate. I will commend the Falcon catcher Williamson, though, for getting up under that. Might have been tough to see in the sun. Regardless, Michigan 2 more runs on. Turkowski's got to be feeling good, getting support from her batting order.
Yeah, well, that one looked routine. I agree. It's definitely not an easy catch to make, especially with the wind having picked up near the latter half of that last inning. That ball tailed back, was kind of blown back in play, and in the position like Williamson was in, where you're kind of like fielding between the shade and the sun, it can definitely be a little disorienting, but was able to step in there and make the play.
100%. A crucial out to get with Maddie Erickson on deck. Erickson accounted for the first Michigan RBI, and We all know how dangerous she is at the plate. So Bowling Green definitely not out of it yet. That out helped a lot, but definitely some work to do heading into the top of the third.
Just tuning in, would like to remind everyone that it is Giving Blue Day. Head on over to our Twitter or our main YouTube page to find videos on how to donate and links as well. Giving Blue Day is the one day a year where we do most of our fundraising for pretty much everything we do here at the station that funds our travel, for road trips such as the trip down to Clearwater, Florida that Kelin, Flynn, and I took earlier this year, all our football road trip coverage. So again, if you are willing and able to donate, really would appreciate anything you have to offer. But that brings us to the top of the third inning. Bowling Green still trying to get their way through the inning for the first time. It's Anderson, then Davis, 8-9 before heading back to the top of the order. First pitch from Lauren Durkowski of the third is a called strike at the knees.
Durkowski, second straight inning, starting off the leadoff hitter with a strike. Extremely efficient outing so far tonight.
Pitcher-on-pitcher battle here as Scarlett Anderson pokes this one foul, and fan dives out of the way over to our right-hand side. Anderson will be down 0-2 in the count.
Yeah, there's some seating perched up where we are that's outside. Definitely part of the game, but got to be careful. Meanwhile, Anderson down 0-2.
Durkowski goes to the rise ball and gets her swinging. Blows it by Anderson for out number one, and that'll bring up the 9-hitter Davis.
I mean, that at-bat's kind of been a microcosm of Durkowski's outing, right? I mean, super efficient, struck out on 3 strikes, and Durkowski just continues to have her way with this Falcon batting order.
Through now 2 1/3 inning, Durkowski's got 5 strikeouts in her back pocket. That'll bring up Delaney Davis, first pitch her way, called strike in the outer half. Infield playing well up. Corners a few steps in front of the bags, middle of the infield in the base path.
That first pitch strike percentage has got to be so high right now for Durkowski. It's really helped her out.
Deep breath from Durkowski, and now the windup. That one barely missing outside. Thole held it for an extra half second to try to help her chances. Davis stretches a bit on that left-hand side, and now we'll step back in. The freshman's having a great start to the year, hitting .270, 10 hits, and 37 at-bats. She's also scored 12 runs as that pitch is a called strike for strike number 2.
You're right, Davis, another freshman in this Falcon order. Definitely young, but making an impact. That's what you like to see out of a young player.
The advantage pitch from Durkowski. She wastes that one. A rise ball well high and outside. Sun still shining here in Ann Arbor. Outfield playing with sunglasses on. Durkowski's 2-2 on the way. The windup and the pitch, a bunt laid down towards third. LeClaire coming up, fielding it on the run, and firing across the diamond for out number 2.
Yeah, I like the idea there by Davis. Kind of maybe catch Michigan off guard, but that bunt was laid down a little too hard. LeClaire able to easily field it and make the out to Erickson at first. No, definitely it's been Durkowski's night. But let's not forget about this Michigan defense. They've been great so far here early.
That'll bring up Deese. Struck out looking in her first and only time up. First pitch her way here. Change up low into the dirt. Durkowski wasted one. Infield still playing up here. Deese with plenty of speed on the base pass. Second pitch, low and outside. It'll be a 2-0 hitters count here.
I think with 2 outs, you're looking to just attack the strike zone. Deese is a good hitter. Those 2 balls well low.
Durkowski trying to fight her way back in this one. That's a great way to start that. Called strike in the outer half, pushes it 2-1.
Yeah, went right back to attacking the strike zone. Putting pressure on Deese now. With 2 outs, nobody on.
2 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff hitter. Nobody on, as you mentioned. Drukowski goes back upstairs, gets her to chase, and it's fouled back off. It'll be a 2-2 hitters count here.
I know I was saying those first 2 balls are kind of low, but I love the variety of location between those first 2 and last 2 pitches. The first 2 were low. These last 2 have been higher. Kind of catching Deese off guard.
After going down 2-0 to start this at-bat, Drukowski has fought her way right back in it. 2-2, hits softly right back at her. A nice routine ground ball, fired over to Erickson at first base, and that'll do it for the side. Another changeup that fooled Bowling Green. They just had to throw their hands at it at the last second. Can't make any sort of solid contact there, and that brings us to the bottom half of the third. Michigan up 3-0.
And heart of the order coming up here for the Wolverines. Erickson will lead off. Obviously, she got everything started back in the first inning, hitting Mattia in. So Michigan looks to pad that lead a little bit. Drukowski just continues to be super solid on the mound. She had a really dominant second inning. Also had a great third inning. Was helped out by some nice defensive plays, but it's been all Michigan so far this afternoon.
Michigan 3 runs on 4 hits. Bowling Green still scoreless. They've got a lone hit coming off the bat of Sophie Weber. She poked that single through the infield back in the first.
And for a team that had their last 4 games canceled, I mean, there's not much rust here. Doesn't seem like. And great start here by the Wolverines.
I know while the weather looks beautiful, it was definitely iffy last week. Michigan originally canceled all the games last week, was able to play 1 against Kent State, had to keep the other 4 canceled. Just combination of the snow and the bitter cold. And was not ideal conditions to do anything, let alone play softball. But here we go, bottom of the third inning. Maddie Erickson will be the first one due up, followed by Melina Livingston waiting on deck. Outfield giving Erickson some respect. Another step back towards the wall, especially with the wind blowing out towards dead center. First pitch on the way. Chops softly back towards the mound. It's going to be a close play, and in time making the throw is Anderson.
Super close play there. Erickson. It's basically a bunt, but it's spin in her favor. Kind of just stayed where it was and died. Almost beat that one out.
That'll bring up Livingston. Couple big practice hacks, and now we'll step in. That back right foot, even with the back of home plate. Last time up, a ground ball towards shortstop, and a fielder's choice retired the side. First pitch your way here is a called strike in the lower outside part of the plate.
Yeah, hard hit ball in Livingston's first at bat. I know you said she's been hitting the ball hard all year, despite not maybe having the average she would like to. Definitely an opportunity here to make an impact this inning.
No balls, 1 strike. A change up here. First we've seen in a long time from Scarlett Anderson, but it misses well outside.
I like the strategy for sure. Just the location wasn't there. Clearly outside. Livingston, good job not to bite on it.
Livingston steps back in that right-hand side, covered by the shade of the flagpoles. The 1-1. This one hit high and deep towards right center field. Back to the warning track. It's going to one-hop the wall, up off the top of the wall. Livingston standing cleanly on second base. A stand-up double for Melina Livingston.
Yeah, one bouncer there at the top of the wall. Good piece of hitting there by Livingston. As Michigan has his 3rd straight inning with a hit. More danger for the Falcons. Livingston in scoring position now.
Livingston could have potentially stretched that to 3. It took an awkward bounce off the top of the wall. I think she thought it went over, so she kind of chopped her feet towards second and just took her foot off the gas. But nonetheless, Michigan has a runner in scoring position with 1 out up there on the board. Sealer digs in on the left side. First pitch your way here. Called strike. Scarlett Anderson just deciding to attack.
Yeah, going back to that Livingston hit, I think it was smart to keep her at second. I mean, you've got 2 extra outs to work with. She's in scoring position. A single would score her regardless. Definitely probably could have stretched that out, but I like playing it safe here.
Anderson nods yes now to deliver the 0-1. Missing low will even it out.
I thought that was a pretty good pitch. Pretty close to the strike zone there, maybe a bit low. Definitely one that a lot of hitters would maybe swing at.
Again, going back to Livingston, something I was going to say before she cut me off by ripping a double off the wall. Seems like every time she steps up to the plate, she's one of those people who is just angry in the batter's box. 1-1 outside makes it 2-1.
Definitely an angry hit there, probably the angriest all afternoon.
When she's up at the plate, she just carries herself like anything that is remotely over this plate, I want to hit through the back wall. 2-1 count here for Sealer. Corners even with the backs. The 2-1 ripped down the line. That one's going to stay fair. Livingston waved around third. Sealer booking it towards second. She's getting waved to third. Throw's not going to come. Sliding in is Ellie Sealer. A triple down the line. Scores Livingston. And Michigan just keeps their foot on the gas.
Michigan is putting on a clinic at the plate. It's the 6th hit of the day for the Wolverines. That one may be the best of them all. Line down to first base. Following a monster double from Livingston. It's been all Michigan here early. We're not out of this inning yet, though.
Still with speed on third and Sealer. That'll bring up Alakwa. First pitch her way. Change up high and outside. I mean, aside from a ball going over the fence, that is the best case scenario for Michigan. A lefty with speed like Sealer, and I mean, that ball was fair by maybe 3 inches and rolled its way all the way down to the corner in right field. The 1-0 to Alakwa. Hit on a soft line towards right field. Diving for it, but it pops out of her glove. Davis unable to make the play. The runner will reach safely, and Alakwa stands tall on first.
Tough play there for Davis, the right fielder. Quickly coming in on a fly ball, and we talked about the sun, as well as possibly the wind having effect on this game here today. As Michigan's inning stays alive, Alakwa gets on base, pushes Sealer in for the 5th Wolverine run of the afternoon.
Yeah, having to make a diving catch going straight forward is hard enough, but as you said, into the sun, trying to judge it with the wind, that's just a tough play to make. Davis lucky she got her glove on that with the speed of Alakwa. Had it gotten by her, she was at least standing on third. So a 5-0 Michigan lead now. Still 1 out. Alakwa on first. That'll bring up Ella McVeigh. First pitch on the way to McVeigh. Popped just foul down the third baseline. A nice half swing. Pushed it over the head of Weber at third, but just couldn't keep it in play.
Yeah, that was very impressive. Although it was foul, McVeigh nearly, like you said, pushing that over the third baseman's head and dropping fair. She can still with a runner on here. A lot of room to further cushion that lead.
McVeigh lines up the bat on 0-1. Anderson nods yes, now goes to the glove. That one catches the outside corner, 0-2. Nice bounce back at bat so far for Scarlett Anderson.
Definitely a much needed one here. 2 pretty good pitches. Would love to retire McVeigh on this pitch.
McVeigh again lines up the bat. LeClaire waits on deck. The 0-2 on the way from Anderson. High and outside. Pitch out there. Trying to see if Alakwa would get greedy. That one does nothing but about waste time. Still Anderson out ahead, 1-2.
Showing bunt here.
This one chopped foul. McVeigh not going down easily. One ball, 2 strikes for Ellen McVeigh when she steps back in. Singled in her last time up, ended up scoring back in the second inning. That's some Let's Go Ella chants ring from the crowd. The 1-2. This one hit on a soft line. It's going to make its way through the infield. Alakwa doing a nice job jumping out of the way of that one. A nice heads-up play by the freshman not to get hit by that line drive. And that's another base runner for the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, beautiful piece of hitting there from Ella McVeigh. Down 2 strikes and kind of poached that over to the right field outfield. It's Michigan with 2 on. Little mound meeting here for Bowling Green. Michigan continuing to keep it rolling at the plate. It's been an A-plus start here for them tonight.
McVeigh singled and scored off the Lexi Blair single, and Audrey LeClaire did the same. A little bit of deja vu here for Bowling Green. Meeting in the circle wraps up. LeClaire at the bottom of the order, and then Ellie Mattia at the top of the order waits on deck. Still only 1 out for Michigan. Plenty of speed on the base pass. Corners playing up. First pitch to LeClaire. Outside, ball 1.
LeClaire singled in her first appearance. Another opportunity to do some damage here with 2 runners on and 1 out.
Lockwood at second. McVeigh at first. This one popped up. Another tough play, but it's going to bounce foul. It'll be a 1-1 count for LeClaire here. For a second, I thought that one was going to stay in play, and Williamson might have had another chance at one in foul territory. One ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. It's 2 runners on for Michigan. Alakwa at second. McVeigh at first. Is that one a called strike in the outer half? Carla Anderson putting herself back out in front.
Definitely a tough take there for LeClaire. Good pitch by Anderson. Getting back up in the count.
Anderson taking her time, spins the ball on the right hand. Now goes to the glove. The 1-2. This one hit soft down the third base line, but enough to keep LeClaire alive.
Another example of Michigan fighting at the plate. LeClaire keeping this at-bat alive, down 2 strikes. Hitting that one foul.
LeClaire digs back in on that left-hand side. Mattia waits on deck. The 1-2. Change-up hit on a line right back to the shortstop, Reed. Diving back to second is Alakwa. No throw came. That'll be out number 2.
A great play by Reed, but also a great job by Alakwa to quickly hustle back to the bag. Kind of a bang-bang play. Almost lined right towards Reed. Good contact. Good job by Alakwa to get back.
Nice piece of hitting from LeClaire. Just couldn't find a gap. Both runners stay put. That'll bring up the top of the order in Mattia. First pitch, line drive, bounces off the glove of Anderson. Alakwa waved around third, the throw in not in time. McVeigh goes first to third off the line drive. Mattia takes second on the throw.
Mattia has been great this afternoon, but I want to praise the awareness and the heads-up play. Taking second, like you said, Charlie. Just play over there at third. McVeigh slid in safely. But while that happens, Mattia taking the opportunity to get to second base. I mean, in every phase of the game, whether that's hitting, hitting vision, base running. Michigan's been excellent so far. That's why they're up 6-0.
A fly out to deep center field in their first time up, and a 2 RBI single back in the second. First pitch here to Blair, change up high and outside. She's got 2 runners, both with speed in scoring position. What a year Lexi Blair's been having. 330 average, hitting close to 500 with runners on. She awaits the 1-0. That one outside. Make it a 2-0 hitters count here.
It's a good pitch. Definitely one that a lot of batters should swing at. Good job by Blair.
20 hits, 11 RBIs, 4 doubles, and a triple for Lexi Blair. One of those doubles, of course, pushing her into the #1 spot for the most career doubles in Michigan softball history. Anderson's 2-0. Low and outside. Nice block by Williamson to keep McVeigh honest at third. But a 3-0 count now.
Now, I normally wouldn't condone swinging on 3-0. But like you said, most doubles in Michigan history. You got 2 runners on, both of which are in scoring position.
Yeah, I'm with you. You see a ball in the zone here, I say let it rip.
Especially with the success they've had.
The 3-0. It's not going to matter. That one well high and outside. That'll load the bases for Kiki Thole.
I think that might have been the right pitch for Anderson. I mean, we talked about Blair's power and 2 runners in scoring position. You're already down 6-0. Got 2 outs. Might as well try to get Thole here.
I think in a different scenario, maybe, but I don't know. If I'm taking my chances with Lexi Blair with runners on second and third or bases loaded to Kiki Thole, who's got 4 home runs on the year, honestly, I don't know who I'm taking there.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, exactly. First pitch to Thole outside for ball number 1.
And that just speaks to the skill throughout this Michigan order. And like you said, so many quality batters here, and Michigan showing that so far here this afternoon.
Anderson nods yes, now goes to the glove. The 1-0 to Thole. Big swing, but rips it foul. As I mentioned, Thole, 4 home runs on the year. Started off the year red hot, all 4 of them coming in the Clearwater Invitational that myself and Kelin Flynn called. It's cooled off a bit since then, but she showed that she has the power. I mean, at one point during that tournament, had 3 home runs in less than 24 hours. As Let's Go Blue rings through the PA system here. Amazing Blue Faithful really did show out as the Stormtroopers down there in the right field corner.
Yep.
Shout out to the Wolverines trooper. I mean, he's
dedicated.
He's dedicated.
Yep.
That's just a guy who loves ball. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Bases juiced for Kiki Thole. Anderson's pitch low and in the dirt. It escapes Williamson. Breaking for the plate is McVeigh and doesn't even have to slide. Both other runners advance. The score goes 7-0 Michigan.
Michigan just taking another opportunity to capitalize on a Falcon mistake. That time it's a pass ball.
So potential grand slam is out of the books now, but Kiki Thole still in a position to do all sorts of damage. Matai at third, Blair at second. A 2-1 count here. The pitch, again, hit hard down the third baseline. Thole making solid contact, just turning on it a bit too early. Anderson now just 1 strike away and getting herself out of this jam. 2-2 pitch on the way to Kiki Thole. The windup from Anderson, well high. It sails over the head of the catcher, but it was high enough that it just bounced right back to Williamson. Both Matai and Blair stay put. Anderson tried to go to the off-speed there, just held on to it a bit too long.
And Michigan's done a lot of their damage with runners in scoring position. I mean, they are 5 of 9 this afternoon. That's really what propelled them to have this success.
Full count, 2 outs. The pitch to Kiki Thole, fouled off.
Barely got a piece of that one to stay alive.
Thole's going to take a little bit of a walk. That one came off the bat and then hit her. Home plate umpire Joseph Malik will take some time, wipe off home plate.
It's a nice gesture there, giving Thole some time.
Bowling Green not out of the woods yet. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 runners out. Michigan with a 7-0 lead. The pitch to Thole, hit hard on a line, and that one's again going to go foul.
That third base line has been busy in Kiki Thole's at bat so far. She continues to make solid contact and stay alive.
They call it the hot corner for a reason. 3 foul balls so far this at bat from Kiki Thole, and all of them have been scorched down that left side.
Scarlett Anderson sitting at 65 pitches here this afternoon.
The full count pitch again. This one hit hard up the middle. It's going to get through the infield. Both runners going to score. Thole rounding first base will keep herself put and make it 9-0 Michigan. A 2 RBI single from Kiki Thole.
He's just been deja vu with these at-bats. I mean, quality at-bats that are ending in RBI singles. Kiki Thole the latest to do it. Michigan up 9-0 now.
That'll bring up Maddie Erickson. It looks like we likely have a pitching change here. Bowling Green coaching staff discussing some substitutions with home plate umpire Joseph Malik. Some arms came in from the bullpen. And we are going to have a pitching change, so Scarlett Anderson's time in the circle will be done, but her day not technically done yet, as the runner at first and Kiki Thole will still be attributed to her. Taking the circle is going to be number 17, the sophomore Ellie Price. Price, a lefty, going to be a different look for these Michigan hitters. Michigan needs a win today to keep them over 500 on the year. The record currently sitting at 11-10.
Yeah, what I will say about Anderson's outing is I thought she threw a lot of good pitches. Obviously, it's a very talented Michigan lineup. Anderson's a good pitcher, too. I mean, 2.62 ERA heading into this one. Just not her afternoon, and definitely Michigan's afternoon at the plate.
Yeah, Michigan just did such a good job of extending at-bats. Even, you know, in the few times where Scarlett Anderson got ahead in counts 1-2, 0-2, Michigan was just able to foul pitches off. Just pitch after pitch after pitch. I mean, look back to that Kiki Thole at bat. She just was ripping balls foul, waiting for one that she could drive, and then as soon as Anderson left one over the plate, scorches a line drive up the middle, 2-run score, and I feel like we've said this about 3 or 4 times now, but Michigan is just putting on a clinic today. 9-0. 9 runs on 10 hits, closing in on run rule territory. Again, still just waiting for the final substitutions to come through, and during this time, we'll take time to remind you all that it is Giving Blue Day here at the University of Michigan, the main day of year where the station raises all their money for everything we will do in the coming year, whether it's road trips, having to buy new equipment, anything like that. So any donations would be very much appreciated. You can head to our Twitter or our main YouTube page to find the links in our promotional video for that and find out where you can donate. Again, nothing that we do would be possible without you all at home. So anything you can give, even if you can't provide, you know, financially, but a retweet or telling your friends would be very much appreciated. Price throws on the mask, walks back to the circle, and now we'll settle in. A white glove sitting on that right hand. And Matty Erickson will step up to the plate, the first lefty that Michigan has faced today. Couple of defensive substitutions coming with the pitching substitution as well.
I love the vocal support from Erickson's teammates in the dugout.
First pitch swung on and missed. Nice off speed in the lower outside part of the zone. Erickson waves at it.
It's a good pitch there by Price. It's a really good hitter in Erickson.
Bowling Green's got 2-3-4 due up when they get back on the offensive end. Second pitch to Matty Erickson is hit high in the air towards left field. Got under the changeup and pops it up to D's in left field. And that's going to do it for the side, but not before Michigan puts up 6 runs in the bottom of the third to put themselves ahead by a comfortable 9 runs. 9-0 Wolverines as we enter the top of the fourth.
You're totally right, and Price did a great job of getting Erickson out there, but damage is already done. 9-0 Michigan heading into the top of the fourth. Almost an now or never territory here for the Falcons.
What an inning that was for Michigan. I mean, they now have almost double the at-bats that Bowling Green does. Michigan hitting 10 of 19 with 2 walks and 2 extra base hits this game. Bowling Green only 1 of 10. They advertise it up there on the board. Thursday, April 27th is the Michigan Softball Academy. So if you or someone you know is a young aspiring softball player in the Ann Arbor area, make sure to come on out for that. I mean, we talked about the greatness of this Michigan coaching staff, and Bonnie Thorne, her first year as the head coach, but she's been here as long as anybody, one of the greats in the game. And this Michigan softball team is full of veteran experience, and even the freshmen. I mean, you don't get to the Division I level by mistake. Everyone here has so much insight for the game, so if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned for more information. Make sure you check out Michigan Softball on Twitter, and just head on over to MGoBlue.
Pinch hitter here.
First pitch on the way from Lauren Durkowski here in the top of the fourth inning. The windup. That one ripped towards the Michigan dugout. Matty Erickson going to go over there and toss it back in. A late swing from Dolges. Struck out swinging your first and only time up. That just shows you how efficient that Lauren Durkowski has been. We're now entering the top of the fourth inning, and this is only their second time through the order. One ball, one strike here for Durkowski. Corner's playing up. This one pop back foul. It'll bounce its way back in play, but the count goes 1-2.
Jessica LaBelle now pitching for the Wolverines. Trying to finish Durkowski's work in what was an amazing outing.
One-two pitch from LaBelle. Hit back up the middle, coming over to field it and throwing cleanly over to first is Janelle Alakwa for out number 1.
Alakwa made probably a pretty difficult play look easy there. Ranging to her right, turning around and throwing Dolges out. Another example of a good defensive play by Michigan. They've been great all night in that aspect of the game.
The ground out will bring up Sophie Weber. Singled in her first and only time up. Back in the first inning. On line drive, they got through the infield on that right-hand side. Another substitution in the Michigan lineup. Indiana Langford is taken right field in place of Eli Mathiah. One ball, no strike here. LeBeau taking her time and now deals. This one a rise ball upstairs. Blowing it by Weber, but just couldn't find the zone.
Weber singled back in the first.
Two-0 hitters count here for Weber. A .393 hitter on the season. Takes a big hack at the 2-0. Comes up empty.
Yeah, good pitch there by LeBeau. Hitters count for Weber, so she's swinging for the fences.
He was trying to hit that ball all the way back to Ohio.
LeBeau got the better of her there.
Weber just looking to jumpstart this Falcons team. LeBeau takes her time, now goes to the windup. Make it a 2-2 count, blowing that one by her. Weber wanted no piece of it.
2 straight quality pitches here for LeBeau. Evens the count back up at 2-2.
Middle of the infield playing back on the turf. Corners even with the bags. The 2-2 from LeBeau. Swung on and missed. Weber didn't want that one. Kind of took a half swing, but then had to throw the body through at the last second. But just couldn't connect. First strikeout of the day for Jessica LeBeau, and that's 2 outs up there on the board for Michigan.
LeBeau did a great job of working her way back into that count. Kind of the way that Michigan has been on the offensive end. Getting that batter to go out. It's got Godbolt here with 2 outs.
The junior looking to get things going here for Bowling Green. First pitch high and outside, ball number 1.
Godbolt grounded out in the first. And 244 on the season. Looking to put some life into this otherwise lackluster Bowling Green offense.
The 1-0, make it 1-1, high and outside. Or excuse me, make it 2-0.
Other hitters count. See if LeBeau can work back into it.
The pitch from LeBeau, swung on and missed. Goes right back to that same spot. Macy Godbolt has got a little bit greedy on that one. Wanted it. Now right to count 2-1.
Yeah, also a powerful swing there. Similar to Weber in her last at-bat.
3 extra base hits on the year, as well as 9 RBIs. She follows this one off, makes the count 2-2.
Yep, LeBeau right on cue, working it back to 2-2. He's done a great job of that with 2 straight hitters.
The 2-2 pitch on the way from Jessica LeBeau. Swung on, tipped back, but it pops out of the glove of Kiki Thole.
Godbolt barely stay alive there. Just got a piece of that ball. Good job fighting, though, staying alive.
The 2-2 on the way. LeBeau's pitch rides inside. Will push the count full.
Good pitch there. Godbolt did jump out of the way, but thought it was pretty good location there from LeBeau.
The catcher, Williamson, waits on deck. She's got the knee pads on. Full count, 2 outs. This one hit on a line. It's going to get through the infield. Diving for it wasn't Lockwell, but just couldn't quite reel it in.
That was a quality at-bat there from Macy Godbolt. Probably the best so far for the Falcons. Went up 2-0. LeBeau fought back, made it 2-2. Godbolt took a close ball, made it 3-2, kept fighting with foul balls, and eventually found her pitch and ripped it right back up the middle.
That'll bring up Williamson. Struck out looking back in the second. Enfield playing back. First pitch, hit right back to LeBeau. What a snag to the forehand side. As you hear some whoos and ahs from the Michigan crowd. I mean, just a flash of the leather. Brings us to the bottom of the 4th.
Very impressive there from Laveau, showing off the defensive skills. It's been that kind of afternoon for Michigan so far.
It really has. It's going to be 5, 6, 7, 2 up for Michigan, looking to push themselves into run rule territory. It's Livingston, Sealer, and Alakwa, followed by Ella McVeigh and Audrey LeClaire before heading back to the top of the order. As of now, it'll be Indy Langford batting in that 1 spot. She came in defensive release of Ellie Mattia. Livingston in her 2 at-bats today. A double and scored back in the 3rd inning. Her first time up, a hard-hit ground ball in the infield where Bowling Green elected to go to second and instead of getting Livingston at first for the fielder's choice that retired the side.
Yeah, Livingston kind of started the major Michigan run with a big double. I'll back up here in the bottom of the 4th. Maybe a chance to put the finishing touches on the Falcons.
I know I sound like a broken record every time I say this, but this view here from Alumni Field is really the best one you're going to get anywhere on campus. We look out the back window. We see Chrysler Center over to our left is the big house, and then just scanning the outfield, Ray Fisher Stadium lining up directly with the center field wall. The IM building, you look, you've got the Ross building, you've got the clock tower in the background.
Got some construction.
You've got North Quad, you've got the Law Quad, you've got construction. I mean, yeah, typical there, but you got Yost over to the right-hand side. You really can't find a better combination of views here on campus. Hitting in place of Melina Livingston is Maddie Ramey.
Another freshman from Michigan. It's good to have freshmen in these in-game situations. Really builds a character program, and definitely a good spot for Ramey to be hitting in right now.
Ramey 2 RBIs and has scored 6 total runs in her 5 at-bats this year. Takes a big hack in the changeup upstairs to push the count 0-2.
Yep, kind of nice pitch there by Price. Ramey a bit thrown off guard with the speed of that pitch.
Oh, it's Ramey in place of Livingston. Sealer still waits on deck. The 0-2 on the way to the freshman bounces off home plate.
Changeup that never quite got to the plate. Good job by Ramey holding back on that one.
1 ball, 2 strikes here for Maddie Ramey. Ellie Price, in what will be her first full inning of work, came in relief of Scarlett Anderson. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Looks like the scoreboard was wrong, so now the count will be 2 strikes. They quickly queer it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count for Maddie Ramey. Pitch on the way from Price. Popped up foul. Will do the 2-2 again.
Good sign after 2 hard swings and misses. Ramey getting some contact there, fouling it off, staying alive. Just like her Michigan teammates have been throughout this game.
Gobbled at first, even with the bag. The rest of the infield playing back. Price is 2-2 on the way. The pitch, change up, hit on a line right over towards second base. A nice swing from Maddie Ramey finds the glove of Hunt.
Yeah, it's got to be a good sign, though, if you're Ramey. Maybe not getting on base, but good, solid contact. Fortunately for her, went right to the second baseman, but that's what you're looking for in these kind of at-bats, quality at-bats, and I would say she made the most of that one.
That'll bring up Ellie Sealer. First pitch, a called strike. Janella Lockwell waits on deck. Michigan 9 runs on 10 hits today. 10 of 20 has just been so efficient at the plate. The 0-1 high and outside. Sealer 1 for 2 on the day, pushing the batting average over 300. One ball, one strike, one out to number 1 Ellie Sealer. The pitch. Changeup catches the outside corner. Sealer didn't like that one. You could see it on her face as she turned away. A little quick walk of frustration. Now she'll have to dig back in down.
Good pitch there by Price. Catching the edge of the strike zone according to the umpire and putting her up 1-2.
The 1-2 pitch popped up. Coming over to make the play is Weber at third base.
Yeah, maybe some communication troubles there, but Weber ultimately loud enough to let the shortstop Reed know that that's her ball. Good job of being loud about it. Much needed out here for the Falcons.
That'll bring up Alakwa. Michigan in danger of going scoreless for the first inning today as they pitch outside. 1 run in the bottom of the first, 2 in the bottom of the second, 6 in the bottom of the third. Puts Michigan ahead by a comfortable 9-0. Price rocks and now deals that one up near the eyes, make it 2-0.
Aqua with the beautiful triple down the first base line back in the third. I'm sure was what will be a memorable hit for the freshman.
2-0 count here to Janelle Alakwa. Price taking your time, spins the ball against that left pant leg. Now goes to the glove. A change-up. Alakwa out ahead of it, pokes it foul.
That was a nice pitch there from Price. Really using that change-up to throw the Wolverine batters off timing-wise. Got Alakwa there.
The freshman Alakwa still out ahead here. The count sits 2-1. Ella McVeigh waits on deck. Price taking your time. Now goes to the glove. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Changeup bouncing in front of home plate makes it 3-1. Hitters count here for the second baseman Alakwa when she steps back in. Price just trying to keep her hands warm. The 3-1 on the way. Outside, ball 4.
That was a pretty good pitch, placement-wise. Good job by Alakwa, though, to hold back and take that for a walk. Second time on base here this afternoon.
That'll bring up McVeigh. The only Wolverine that's 2 for 2 so far today with a pair of singles has scored both times she's reached base. Once back in the second, once last inning in the third. First pitch her way, swung on and missed.
Good start there for Price. Getting up a strike. Alakwa still on first. So a chance for Michigan to hit double digits.
Alakwa with decent speed at first. 1 stolen bag in the year, has scored 7 runs. McVeigh lines up the bat. And now lets the 0-1 go by for a called strike in the outer half. And now she's down 0-2.
Chance for Price to get out of this inning here.
McVeigh, good 2-strike hitter. Does not strike out very often. The 0-2 on the way from Price. This one hit on a soft line towards the outfield. It's going to drop down. Both runners will reach safely. Dolgis was running in from center field, decided at the last second not to try and dive for it, but to just play it safe and let it drop. That puts runners on first and second as we head to the 9-hitter in this order, Audrey LeClaire.
Yeah, a good piece of two-strike hitting there by Ella McVeigh, keeping the inning alive. Alaqua now in scoring position for LeClaire.
A single and a line out for Audrey LeClaire. The freshman Indiana Langford waits on deck. First pitch to LeClaire, hit high and deep towards left field. Settling under it is Dees, and that's going to do it for the side. Michigan leaves 2 runners stranded. As we head to the top of the 5th, the Wolverines up 9-0.
First scoreless inning for Michigan here, although there were some bright spots, some good hitting, some good 2-strike at-bats. But Michigan maintains that dominant lead, 9-0.
It's 6, 7, 8 due up for Bowling Green. Chevalier, Hunt, and Anderson.
New pitcher in the circle, it looks like, for the Wolverines. I think it's Hannah George.
Michigan with a comfortable lead, going to pitching by committee here. Jessica LeBeau came in relief of Lauren Durkowski through an inning, and now, as you said, it'll go to Hannah George.
I like that strategy, getting a variety of arms in the circle during a game like this. Be used to experiment a bit, get some players in game-like situations. Still relatively early in the year, so I'm sure the coaching staff is still figuring out the structure of this team.
Bowling Green's going to need a couple here to just give themselves a cushion to avoid the run rule, as Michigan with a 9-0 lead as we're in the 5th inning has the top of the order coming up. It's going to be Katie Hutter, the hitter due up for Bowling Green. First pitch on the way to Hutter here. Outside, and first pitch from Hannah George for ball number 1.
It's a good looking pitch by George. Just a bit outside, but keeping Hutter on her toes with the speed.
George has a little bit more on it than LeBeau or even Durkowski does. Can for sure blow it by hitters, but that one a bit low for ball number 2.
Yeah, that one also whistled in there right on cue, Charlie. Hopefully a different look than the previous 2 pitchers for the Wolverines.
Corners playing up, middle of the infield playing back. 2-0 pitch on the way to Hutter. I'm going to say that one missed for ball 3. Three-0 count here for the freshman Hutter. George just trying to dial it in, find the zone here. That one right down Broadway, called strike 1.
Good pitch there. Not playing around, right down the middle. Not going to give Hutter a freebie.
Langford over there and right, trying to block the sun with her glove. 3-1 pitch to Hutter. Hit on a soft line over towards shortstop, and making the play is Fantucci for out number 1.
Yeah, good job by George to make Hutter swing the bat. That time got some help from her shortstop.
That'll bring up Hannah Hunt. Fantucci in place of Ella McVeigh. First pitch from George, and this at bat low and outside. Riley Carcaboro is taking place of Kiki Thole behind home plate. George taking her time, has that front right foot planted on the rubber. Winds and deals. Pop back foul.
Good pitch there by George. Get back into this count. Hunt grounded out to third back in the second inning.
One ball, one strike here. Hannah George takes a nice deep breath, and now we'll go to the windup. Just missing the outside
Awfully
corner.
close. Yeah.
Carcabro tried to frame it. Maybe bring it in to paint that corner, but the home plate umpire not phased.
And George hasn't gotten many strikes, although I think she's pitched well.
2-1 count to Hunt. Make it 3-1.
See if George can work back into this count. Make Hunt swing the bat.
Well, that's exactly the at-bat that we just saw. 3 balls and a 3-1 count, and then a pop-up. And there it is again. This one popped up the outfield, though. Lexi Blair settling under it. And that's 2 outs up there on the board. Hannah George doing a nice job. Just, while she can't find the zone, has done a nice job just getting hitters to put it in play and trusting her defense to make a play.
Yeah, and while she hasn't had many called strikes, I think majority of her pitches have been hittable. The Falcons showing good eyes, but like you said, good job of making the hitter swing and allowing her defense to make plays for her.
It'll bring up the shortstop, Chevalier. First pitch her way here, a called strike. George takes her time, checks the wristband, now goes to the glove. The windup on 0-1. Just missing upstairs.
Yeah, George doing a good job throughout this inning of varying the speeds of each of her pitches.
1-1 count here for George. The pitch, popped up foul. It's going to make its way over the net. Oh, actually, it stays in play, and what a play by Maddie Erickson to track it down, almost half standing in her dugout to make the play. For sure, it seemed like that one off the bat was going to tail its way over the fence, but the wind keeps it in play, and like I said, a nice read by Maddie Erickson off the bat to come over and make the play. So, Bowling Green didn't get what they needed. That's going to do it for this ball game. Michigan wins in run rule fashion. Final score 9-0. The Wolverines had the red-hot bats all day long. 11-24 for a .458 team average so far this game. Hit 9 of 17 with runners on base. I mean, with stats like that, it's going to be hard to win a ball game. 2 extra base hits. 3 walks as well. Give you the main contributors for Michigan. I mean, you got to look at Ella McVeigh. 3 for 3, scored 2 runs. Also, Lexi Blair, who ripped that double to get things going early in this ball game. But that one just a full team win. Lauren Durkowski is going to get the win for starting, but also tossing quality innings from Jessica LeBeau and Hannah George. The bats were solid all the way through, and I mean, as they pop up the Michigan offensive leaders, just a sight to see. McVeigh 3 for 3, Blair 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs, Thole 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs, Mattia 1 for 2 with an RBI, Erickson with an RBI, Sealer with an RBI, Alakwa with an RBI, and Melina Livingston 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Like I said, just a quality team win. But that's going to do it for our coverage here, and unless you've got anything else to say, Owen, we will be back here in about a week or so, March 29th on Wednesday, as Michigan will face off against Oakland. It'll be our good friends Vihan Esweir and Ryan Dolson on the call for that one.
That's a good crew right there.
Sure to be a quality broadcast. But for that is going to do it for our coverage here. Again, it's been Charlie Brigham and Owen Klein providing coverage of Michigan softball live here from Alumni Field. And one final reminder before we go that it is Giving Blue Day, the main day of the year where we are able to raise all the money that will fund pretty much everything we do for the 2023-2024 school year coming up. So if you are willing and able, head on over to our Twitter or our YouTube main page. Check out, consider donating, or if you are not able to donate, just a simple retweet does wonders. Just spread the word as much as you can. But from Charlie and Owen, again, we'd like to thank you all for tuning into WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. It's glad to be back. Glad to be back calling softball. And I mean, it's the best time of the year.
Definitely.
Springtime's coming. Postseason basketball. Spring sports starting up. Nothing better.
Tune in to WCBN. We'll have all that coverage for you.
And tune into the Daily Sports Report, 6 to 6:30, Monday through Thursday on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor to hear all of our takes regarding March Madness and everything like that with the NFL Draft coming up. There's plenty of content to go around. But finally signing off for Charlie Brigham and Owen Klein, we're going to leave you like we always do with a good night and a Go Blue.